Hey guys and girls, and welcome back to Greatest Good Tarot. Hope you're doing well and keeping out of mischief. Now, technical difficulties today. It is tomfoolery of the technical wizardry malarkey. So I've got to do everything manually, and I don't like it. I've got to use a mouse, but I've only got like a postage stamp to use my mouse. Mainly because all the decks that I use are just like lined up. And the mouse is normally there just to kind of nudge what needs to happen next. And unfortunately, yeah, all the like mod cons, technical wizardry, just they're not working. I don't know what it is. It's one of those days. Anyway, just wait. There'll be somebody in the comments going, "Oh, it's Mercury retrograde." Okay. Okay. I'm sure it is. But yeah, I don't care. Basically, I don't care what it is. It's flipping annoying. Whoa. So this reading is not necessarily a question, even though I can't show you questions right now because of the technical wizardry. However, it was kind of a comment on another suggestion for a reading, if that makes sense. And I can't remember who it was. Hold on. I'm trying to move the mouse now. Oh, crap. Why did I do that? It was Lumar, who was asking about the 2027, is it going to be 2027, the elections type malarkey, as Farage had mentioned. When is it for you? Because I'm pre-recording this, because I'm obviously on a break right now. Last week before? It's interesting. It's interesting that he's mentioned it before, but the fact that he's committed to that after a economic kind of shenanigans. So it's going to be slightly different, this reading, because I want to find out, and I think this is going to be the foundation of the reading, is his thoughts about the economic breakdown saying 2027? Is that correct? Is it more 26? What are we talking about here, kind of thing? Can we narrow that down a little bit? And then gossip, and then kind of the outcome. Instead of the outcome, it would be more about the procedure afterwards, if that makes sense. Okay, so it's a slightly different on the wonk reading, this one, than usual. While I am, because these cards are like being a little stubborn right now, they're like, no, not ready, no. I would recommend, for me, it was last night. For you, it was last week. Richard Tice doing a speech at Bloomberg. I would recommend you go and watch that. It is. There's a lot of. This stream will start soon. So if you, it looks like a long video, but if you skim past that, I think it's about 20 minutes long, roughly, and there's a little kind of Q&A at the end. Not all of it. It kind of abruptly ends, the version I saw anyway. And I thought he was saying interesting things, very interesting things, and quite almost unique in some respects. It's a very different approach to economics and stuff like that. And what was really profound, and like I said, go and watch it because it really is it's an education. There's a lot of alphabet spaghetti within it, like acronyms and stuff like that. But I got like a good half of them. I kind of made sense what they were, because they're like economics people in the room. So he was talking to economic people. It's one of them ones. But his proposals are very interesting. And what I found like remarkably refreshing is that, like, he kind of put the cards on the table. See what I'm doing? Cards on the table, and then said, our tax code is something like 24,000 pages. No one really knows what it's all about and that kind of stuff. Other countries are around about 1,000 pages, 500 pages, 600 pages, that kind of stuff. I want to work with anyone here who wants to, come and join us. Not as a party. You can be anonymous if you wish. It doesn't matter. We want your mind. We want you to think about if you were going to start from scratch, taking all that tax code and bringing it into a really simple 400, 500, 600 pages thing. We want to work with you. And he even gave out a timeline. He goes, hopefully we can do the work over 6 months, or basically the whole thing was 9 months long. He wanted to have that real discussion, and it was fascinating. I would go and watch it because for me it was refreshing. It was like, wow, this is fascinating. I like this kind of sort of democracy, using people's skill set to kind of build the ideas, the concepts. Very, very interesting. Anyway, enough of that. Let's find out here. Is Farage correct about the economic collapse? Is it 2027? Is it 2026? Maybe even 2025? Or can we get that narrowed down, please? For the greatest good for all concerned. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always be appreciative. There we go. Okay. Right. So, Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is normally like good luck, good karma, good destiny, good, right? But I'm sensing that someone else is in control of the wheel, which is a big no-no. The wheel needs to move loosey-goosey. It needs to be well-oiled and loosey-goosey. For some reason, that feels like it. The image I'm getting, 2 images I got. You know when you get, back in the day, oi, grandma, remind people about like 78s and stuff like that. When you put the needle on the turntable and then you put your thumb on and it just like, it's like the table is still turning, but it's like you're slowing down the disc, not the disc, the LP, and it's is that weird kind of on the felt. There's that kind of not necessarily friction, but there's that kind of, it wants to do one thing, but you're doing, it's that kind of energy. The other image I got was a merry-go-round. Not a merry-go-round, a roundabout. Is it a merry-go-round or a roundabout? Can you tell it was the last time I was a kid? At playground, yeah, the thing, the thing that goes round, and you speed it up, and then you kind of grab hold of it, and it surprisingly doesn't yonk your arms out of their sockets, but instead you're trying to slow it down, kind of bounce it around to slow it down, just before they're sick. Not that I'm talking about me and my brother, but I'm just like, but it's that kind of interference with what it wants to do is what I'm getting there. There is some sort of, someone else is turning the table, they're turning the wheel. There's some sort of influence there. 8 of Wands, quick movement, quick decisions, quick. Okay, action. 10 of Swords, not enough. 8 of Swords, oh crap. Well, there's the collapse. Right there. Interfere, can't do it. Boom, baby. Boom, kasplat, etc. I may need to get this dinky deck who is basically kind of interfering with the natural flow over here. I may need to get the dinky deck out of that unless we find out a bit more. 6 of Pentacles. Well, there we found out who 2 come out. That's very rare that 2 came out at once there. So we've got heartbreak, celebrations. Feels like it needs to be that way. This is the same old, isn't it? We get the last one. Defending their ground. Okay. All right. This over here, this interference, they're celebrating. They're getting paid off. Absolutely fine with the Six of Pentacles, right? This feels like you and me are now in up a certain creek without a paddle. Like the usual kind of suspect. So let's find out. This Wheel of Fortune. Can we clarify this Wheel of Fortune? Who is it? Can you give us insight of what happens here for the greatest good for all concerned? Thank you. That's Six of Pentacles as well, if you can. Thank you. Okay. Right. I've been told shuffle. So this could take a little while we shuffle. Wheel of Fortune, please. With a little bit of the Six of Pentacles. Who are these people? What happens? What goes on here? Thank you. So I hope that my holiday is going well. Holiday break it's not a holiday. I think is normally kind of like 7 days plus, don't you think? Yeah, we're going for it. Basically, what we can see on the weather, what's just like coming in bit by bit, day by day, is that when we're in Wales, it's a complete washout. Yay! Overarching energy, King of Cups. That feels like a regulator or something. But it's rejected. Wish coming true. It's a pump and dump. It feels like a pump and dump. It feels like, in the sense of, for me, they're like technical wizardry numbers and labels and names and things like that. But quite frankly, it doesn't matter if it's like subprime mortgages or whatever. They're all pump and dumps. Someone's a greedy sod, wanting to get the money while they can, and then to dump it to go, right? And leave everybody else to deal with the crud. Yeah, it's that kind of energy there. So their wish came true. They got paid off. Celebrations. They're living at large. This feels like rejecting this regulator. There's some sort of oversight. This feels like a body of something. This doesn't feel like an individual. I've just such a dumb. I'm so dumb sometimes. The Four of Cups. They don't want oversight or regulation or whatever this is. They don't want this interaction here from this guy, this body, this FCA or whatever, right? Could even be the Bank of England or whatever, yeah? Because they know what's going on. The Three of Cups, they've got eyes on the prize of the pump and dump to celebrate. We've got the Three of Cups down here. We're just like, they know what's going on. They don't want to get involved. They don't ruin it for us. We're almost done kind of thing. And then all hell breaks loose. Okay. So let's have a look at this. To continue on. Knight of Cups. Once again, that feels like investigation, report, blah, blah, blah. This lot have already gone, Queen of Cups. This feels more like it's in reverse state, insecure, kind of worried, concerned, anxious kind of energy with all this going on. But yeah, this investigation, this kind of outcome is, if you did this and this and this, the horses wouldn't have bolted. But it's like you knew this. People, you could see through the timeline of nows that people were talking about this, but you just didn't want to. You couldn't be bothered. Couldn't be bothered to do it beforehand, could you? Kind of energy I'm getting from that. What's the point of you? Kind of that just popped in. Seven of Pentacles, reviewing the situation. Kind of reviewing, trying to pick up the pieces. How do we make this happen? That kind of stuff. Overarching energy. Knight of Swords, truth, knowledge, wisdom, clarity, information, data rushing in. Yeah? Underlying energy, Five of Cups. This... Oh. This is... Because the Five of Cups is normally 3 of Cups of milk spilt, and then, like, you're focusing on the spilt milk, the 3 cups, the 3 cups, the 3 cups. This... Am I right? Am I right? Hold on. Let's just cut the deck. Emperor, authority. Oh, no. Oh, they're... Yeah, basically, this is going to be one of the first times in history that because of how it's set up now, or changes have been made, a lot of people are going to suddenly find themselves with free accommodation. They can track the data. They can track the transactions. They can, so that this 3 of Cups here feels very much like, it feels like 8 maybe 8 months of living at large. But the snapback happens. This pump and dump would have worked before if it wasn't for the pesky kids kind of energy. It, like, they have a little moment and then they're slapped up. They're all kind of caught up in legalese and stuff like that. So where do we go from here? So now we've got the snapshot, the foundation of this thing. This definitely feels like more, I would have said, like this time, maybe September next year. This feels like, this feels different. This feels more 2006 than 7. This feels more like I said, kind of this time next year kind of period, maybe like September, the autumn of 2006, it feels like. Okay. And there is something else going on here. Because the fact that the watchdogs are the 7 of Pentacles again under the King of Cups, it's like the watchdog knows this is going on, but it like has no teeth, or like, I don't know. It's in plain sight. This is the bit I'm getting again. This is the second reading where I'm getting, it's all in plain sight. This is not unexpected. This is not, people have been talking about this for some time, and yet no one wanted to touch it. Yeah? It's that sort of energy. So this feels like we now need to do with the prediction deck. But hold on, someone asked what this deck was, and this is the prediction deck from Australia. I can't. Tish, is it? Tash? Tish? Where's the box? Hold on. Someone. It just dawned on me. Someone at some point. Hold on. Let me get the box without collapsing the rest of the boxes on top of them. All right. We all survived. Well done us. It is the prediction deck by Trish Jamie's Oracles. Okay. Oh, hello. Cool. They're pretty cool. However, because they're from Australia, the postage is a bit of a bugger. Just saying. I'm just putting it out there for you. Just brace yourself for that if you go down that route. So this part, I think we need to find out the energy I keep on getting is this happens, but there is like a period of time that self-righteous people, as we keep on talking about, think they can solve it. They think they can fix it. They can. Do you know what I mean? And there's a bit of a delay of some description. So, Sorry, these don't feel like they're ready. So let's find out kind of the delay or the period of time, or how does this connect to Nigel Farage's 27 prediction. Replace exchange. This ain't. There is something not right. Sorry. Whatever this is meant to happen. I know we've already said that pump and dump, they're building it and stuff like that. But there is something here, something that they want the excuse to be able to change it up. They want does that make sense? They want the reason to be able to barge in and go, right, we're going to change it now, lads. So they don't give a crap about the suffering that we get over here because of it and the economy and stuff like that. Okay? They don't give a absolute monkeys because they want control over something. They want 8 of Wands, controlled puppet. I hate to say, so I'm not going to, but it's purposely set up to fail. Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of energy. It's purposely so that they can get, Ten of Swords, social media, bombardment, absolute panic. 8 of Swords, the greater good. No, surely not. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Can we clarify the 8 of Swords and the greater good, please? Have I misunderstood? The 8 of Swords. For the greatest good for all concern. Thank you. Cut and 3. Okay, cut and 3. Okay. King of Wands. King of Swords. Okay, the imprisonment is not us. The imprisonment is not us. That is going to be rough. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be some suffering. I'm definitely getting that. Don't get me wrong. But the 8 of Swords, these two here feel like the King of Wands. Lots of kings, haven't we got? This is the regulator that should know better and should have got in the way sooner, right? The King of Wands feels like almost it's like in public office, watchdog kind of energy. They're not the regulator. They're like their oversight of it's another Quango basically, but it's there. Notice how the King of Wands is looking at all of this. They know the people, the places, the things. King of Swords feels like the authority. I'm surprised the Justice card didn't come up, to be honest with you. It's that sort of energy. People are actually going to get their comeuppance. Unlike 2008, which I believe no one went to jail for. They're all involved in it, but no one, they got bailed out for it. There is actually some comeuppance here. The Ace of Cups. It's interesting that we've got the Ace of Cups again, which is the rejected oversight here with the regulator. Do you see what I'm saying? Why? It's almost as if the two kings here are then, after they've dealt with this crud, they're going to then go after the regulators and the people like that. You know, people in public office, you should have, why aren't you working for the public? Blah, blah, blah. Overarcher, 10 of Pentacles. Bloody hell. This is some form of ill-gotten gains getting gained back. Does that make sense? Did any of that make sense? That whole phrase. Excuse me. But the riches are, you know what happened, the speedboats and that kind of stuff with the Russians. They've locked them down. They've kept them for years and years and all that kind of stuff. It's this kind of the same sort of thing. Their assets are frozen, is what I was trying to say. Trying to sound clever. And we claimed back from all this. So this is why the Three of Cups, the celebration is a short win, because then it's like it's snapped. It's done. Ace of Wands. Light bulb moment. Aha moment. Yeah? Interesting. So the 8, just to clarify, just for me to remind myself, the 8 of Swords there is not us. That is these people that wanted this payout. They got it. They fudged the system. Ill-gotten gains. And it's sorting it out over here. This feels like actual results happening over here. 6 of Pentacles. Rescued. So this payoff here could be another bailout as well, but there is definitely some sort of because the changes, these certain people here, the changes they want to see happen have happened. Now they can go and rescue it because they now control it. Does that make sense? So while this is a very complicated, I hope I'm explaining it well. So while these people's friends are slapping down the people who caused the mischief, caused the mischief and mayhem and stupidity and the collapse and all that malarkey, losing money and stealing it and all that kind of stuff, yeah? Ill-gotten gains. Imprisoned, serve your time, got the money back, that kind of thing. They're using this as an excuse to then infiltrate, take what they truly wanted to happen. They're using it while everyone's distracted to take control of it. 3 of Cups, 3 of Swords, sinking ship. 9 of Wands, returns to normal, wounded warrior. That keeps coming up recently. Nothing to see, it's fine. Knight of Cups, lies and deception. Exactly. Here are the proposals, the plans. This is how we can fix it. But they don't need to fix it because they're now owning it, basically. It's their bitch now. You see what I'm saying? This is Queen of Cups, holding power. Because it's the Queen of Cups felt it's in its reverse state, where it's like insecurity and worries and anxieties and holding power. I don't. 3 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. Housing issues. I really don't like this outcome down here. This feels like, the more we're doing this down here, this feels like, what's the term? Like a kangaroo court, kind of like look over here, we're doing what's right and all that kind of stuff. we're slapping the regulator or how dare you not interfere sooner, all this kind of stuff. If there was a conspiracy theory with the tinfoil hat and stuff like that, this would be considered a false flag. This has got kind of 4D chess all over it. Whatever this asset is over here, what brings it down over here, it's meant to fail. It's almost built to fail, it feels like. Overarching energy, submarine underwater, sinking ship to underwater, underlying energy, positive outcome. It's positive. It will be positive. Right. Okay. So even though we're like, there's going to be like tension escalating over here, and there's going to be bombardment via social media, and people, I think, may even start protesting again and that kind of stuff. That no one comes out of this squeaky clean is what I'm especially down here. Cheers, my dears, by the way. Housing issues, though. It could be subprime again, because we did mention it, but it feels more like I'm being reminded of the subprime, where then no one bought anything, no one was lending to anyone. It was like the clogging up of the system. However, it's almost like they're all in it together. Well, I know over here we're all in it together, but the fact that this show trial, that's what I was... We get there eventually. This show trials over here, this finally people... I don't know, using the multitudes of legislation that they actually have got. They don't need, like, this just annoys me. It's like, you've got so much legislation and you need more. You know? That's just pathetic. It's like, you've got, just use what you've got, love. You don't need any more. In fact, let's take some of it back. Because you're clearly not using it. That's the other way of looking at it, yeah? Let's get rid of some of this legislation because you're clearly not using it. And you don't need it, and you think it's wrong. So we'll get rid of it, and then we'll talk about like giving you some new powers. Yeah? That's an idea. Maybe someone like it or not. So there's definitely three kind of entities, clear. But this rescue plan, this bailout, going back to 2008 and all that kind of stuff, whatever this plan is to sort this out, and it's by design. They're taking control of it. It's malicious in every which way. Okay? It's like evil kind of energy over here. And then they're going to lie about it and go like with the Knight of Cups underneath. Here's ideas how it won't happen again, and possibilities, and all that kind of stuff. And we need more legislation. Of course, more is what we need. But it's lies deceit, because they've got what they really want. Excuse me. Right. So now we know roughly when it's going to happen. Like I said, it feels like the autumn of 26. We know the politics of it, shall we say. And now let's kind of where does it go from there, as it were? Okay. Um, do. So I'm going to use this deck for the outcome sort of malarkey. So where's this going to go from here? Does this lead up? Does this lead up to a general election? Does this lead up to... Ooh. I've got a download there, and I don't know if I should share it or not. Okay, they're in two minds right now when the best time to make this move. They're currently they're trying to all this lot, right, are trying to decide when to do it. Okay, so at the moment, energetically, it seems like, as I said, autumn 2026. We're going on the assumption in this reading that the economic downturn here then triggers the squeaky bum time that we've had previously reading of Nigel Farage and that kind of stuff. Okay. However, they're trying to, the two minds is it better to do it before the inevitable of Farage and his ilk? But they know what sort of program he wants to implement and his team wants to implement, i.e. non-progressive, get rid of legislation, make taxing system a hell of a lot easier, so on and so forth. Or do a general election earlier to then have him and his team in power then. Do you see what I'm saying? So he gets the blame. They get the blame. And so it they can then go back on, rebuild and get back on track to get rid of this and he gets the blame. Does that make sense? So that is, so it's going to affect what we're going to see now, because you can't read beyond a choice that hasn't been made. Okay, it's just not possible. You can have a reasonable guess. You can kind of follow the likelihoods, but you can't make a defined decision or a defined reading because it's beyond a decision that's been made. So I think we're on the top of the timing, but it's who's in charge, because if it happens while Reeves and Stuttery Starmer's involved, then obviously all hell will break loose. But if they do it so that the right or the wrong person, depending on how you look at it, is in charge, and then go from there, kind of malarkey. So let's have a look here. What are we doing? All right. For the greatest good. So, truth, knowledge, wisdom, clarity, information. Knight of Swords. This is going back to everyone knows it. Everyone can see it happening in real time. People have been talking about this bubble for a while. King of Pentacles. Well, he's definitely the spiel I just talked about, like the indecision of what to do, is like the accountant of the deck is quite literally balancing, working it out. What's the best value? What should we do? Two of Cups, partnership. World card. This feels like very much. It's interesting that we've got now all four kings out. I'm just, just saying it for a friend. It's also interesting that the King of Pentacles here is looking to this Two of Cups and the World card, a new cycle and that kind of thing. It's a situation where like I said, the balancing act here, which is better? And it's bugging me, and it's actually making it a bit difficult because these are nameless people. I don't know, like a regulator, a judge, another kind of regulator on a different kind of side. I don't know them all, right? There's 400 plus of them. I don't know them all, right? And it's like the King of Pentacles here. It's one of those situations. But he's the one who's making the decision ultimately, if whether or not, before or after, who gets the dirty hands, basically. Rescue, revive, Page of Cups. Once again, a flirt, an option, an idea. It's like we've got, because normally it's Pentacles, but the Cups here is almost like Captain Hindsight out of South Park. Oh, we should have this, I should have done that, and I should have done that, and blah, blah, blah. This is another report. So we've got the Knight of Cups, a report there, shoulda, coulda, wouldas, Page of Cups, exactly the same sort of thing. King of Cups, whimsically kind of with the Four of Cups underneath all that lot, trying to, oh, you really shouldn't do that, lads. Not really doing anything. Three of Swords again. Especially with this partnership. It's like Farage doesn't take it. Doesn't take this partnership. Doesn't take this. Because he can see where it's going. Thieves in the Night energy. This. This feels dodgy. I know it's the Seven of Swords, but it's like this returns to normal is what I'm returning to, because he's looking at the return to normal behind him, yeah? It's like an illusion that it's returned to normal. And the fact we've got this new cycle up here, this partnership is not going to happen. It feels as if it's really weird. I'm going to put this on the record, but it's really weird. This whole reading is really weird, actually, to be honest with you. It's very like prickly. Certain areas of it. When if your foot goes dead or like pins and needles, that kind of with the rush of blood going back in, it's that pin, like that prickly kind of, Yeah, it's that sort, like, not for everything, but it just keeps coming up. This prickliness, this kind of, hmm. But this heartbreak in the middle is something along the lines of, what about us? It's all well and good that everybody here is like doing their job and all that kind of stuff, but what about us? There's something here where, and let's be honest, they're not doing their job because it happens, if you get me. You should have, like, preventative measures. This is something about closing this down. Page of Cups is like, I don't know if it. Okay, here's the, because it just feels like it's slapdash. It feels like it's a very quick report, inquiry, 8 weeks long, 3 weeks long, whatever it is. All that'll do, slapdash, done now. It's like, no. Here's the offerers again. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, here's the new rules. Rejected again. Happy home. 1111, make a wish. It's interesting. This is definitely these two cards here are definitely kind of like government agencies. Oh, like from this whimsical kind of pathetic excuse for waste of pages kind of report, we're going to do these proposals, kind of thing, that will prevent this from happening ever again, and everyone rejects it. It's like, no. How dare you? Yeah? It's got to be rejected. And then this heartbreak turns into happy home celebrations. Okay? So this partnership up here, which feels like it's going to be rejected, this feels like Farage up here and reform. This could be the Bank of England, maybe. It feels like an institution. These all feel pretty much like institutions. That's why it's a bit difficult to kind of pin them down. But this could be the Bank of England and kind of go, okay, we're gonna go with, let's partner up. Let's try and do something here. And it's like rejected. It's like, no. You're part of the problem. You're not the solution. You're part of the problem. We know you can't. We're not your usual. You can't hoodwink us like that, like your usual politicians. If you see what I'm saying, it's that kind of energy. Overarching energy, reviewing the situation. 7 of Pentacles again. Underlying, King of Wands. The King of... Oh, is that the Sun card that's plopping up? It's going to be happy again. It's going to be happy, joy. Because there are people standing their ground. This... this could be subcommittees. Yeah? This could be... parliamentary kind of investigation-y type thing, holding people accountable. However, very much throughout all of this, as I said it previously, it's more about the preparation than deciding when to do it. And there's it's come up again about in two minds about when the trigger is pulled. However, what is of benefit here is the sneaky buggers in the thing with the four of cups. Their excuses are useless. A BS can be seen straight through. It's like we said right at the beginning. You knew this was happening. You did nothing about it. We don't believe you. And because this is connected upwards as well as downwards, the world card with the court cases and things that we keep putting up here, it feels as if people are going to be actually held accountable. There is Ace of Cups again. Yeah? It's interesting that we're getting the Ace of Cups twice, because it's that one there, isn't it? And it seems fascinating to me that it feels as if these here are the rejected stuff. It doesn't resonate with people. It doesn't make sense. Out in the cold, yes. Hierophant, rules and regulations. This is what I'm on about. It's like they're like, I can't remember the exact, off the top of my head, I can't remember the exact law, but it's kind of, or legislation, we should say, because it's not laws, are they? They're legislation. There's only common law, and then there's legislation, what I'm learning. However, like being a douche, technical term, in public office, there is a law against that, but no one ever seems to pull the trigger on it to actually get to the bottom of it and stuff like that. This feels like it's full of, you knew this, you did nothing, we're going to hold you accountable. And yeah, so at the moment, and we're going to, we're going to get some, wow. It's going to be happily ever after. There are going to be anxious moments, the heartbreak and all that kind of stuff. There's going to be anxious moments, but the windfall, I was only going to try and pick up the Ten of Pentacles. Wish coming true. It's this reset, and we've got rebellion. Oh, you can't see it. The card popped off on the prediction deck. But it's one of those situations where, and we've said this months ago, and I think people got bored of me saying it, but you can't put the genie back in the bottle. This is what the problem is. This is what this class of person is realizing, and also crapping themselves because they can't get away from being exposed. Okay. So this is because, like, as an example, I know it's overdone, but like as an example, as I'm recording this right now, Rachel Reeves admitted breaking the law. First letter. Second letter, oh, actually, whacking people. We this, that, and the other, estate agents mixing it in, emails doctored, muddying the waters, yeah? But she already admitted to it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, she admitted to it. Then it turns out there's a second estate agents they went to who also said, you need a license, love. And she didn't, well, it's like, oh, we didn't know we needed one. And we found tweets 10 days earlier celebrating the fact that this is all that kind of, and you know what I mean? It's like muddy water. And yet still, and it turns out somehow her sister is involved in the local council somewhere or other. So hoodwinky, possible, maybe kind of conflict of interest there. However, everyone's like, well, why hasn't she been arrested yet? Why hasn't she been this, that, and the other yet? Why hasn't yet? Why it would have happened to us? Why hasn't it happened to this whole 2-tier thing? Same again with Lammy, as it's very recent. They do it's a I haven't thought this through yet. Like 2-tier justice, 2-tier system, 2-tier care, 2-statement care, 2-statement. There's something here because is basically the first statement is cover their backside, quick, but never works, does it? Never works. Never quenches the thirst of the answers of the questions that they wanted to. And then a couple of hours later, normally about 4 or 5 hours later, handful of hours, second statement comes out, which conflicts with the first statement. And there's like, you've already made this public knowledge. It's out there already. And now you're saying, oh, but this and that and the other and reasons and possibilities. And he thought that, like, at one point, like, because obviously Lammy's situation, he had a statement in front of him. He had it right there. And all he had to do is just read it. Oh, but Met Police wouldn't have liked me to do it and this, that and the other. And it was an active thing and excuse and reasons. And you would think someone with the Justice Secretary would actually know the flipping protocols. Anyway, and then Met Police, oh, hello, this is getting very dirty. Met Police goes, no, we wouldn't have minded. There's precedent for it. It's absolutely fine. Don't blame us, Cov. And then came out the second statement. It's that kind of tit for tat kind of malarkey. But it exposes the whole situation. This is what I'm kind of getting here. This tit for tat. Especially when we're starting with the Knight of Swords up here. The truth is known. Rachel Reeves admitted to breaking the law. Lammy had a statement he could have just read, but instead decided to act unparliamentary. Let's put it that way. Okay. Which then, does that seem like the actions of somebody who would, like from the French taxi driver bloke? Does that sound like the actions of what that he was saying he was? I'm just, it's an answer, question for your answer. But this is it. We know the truth. Okay? Whimsy, it's rejected, happy home. All right? So and the sneaky buggers are caught out because it's new cycle, a new way forward. They're getting their comeuppance. About bloody time. What I'm worried about is this trying to make this partnership up here. Okay? So we can't answer right now. We may have to return to this next year, it feels like. But it feels as if that once they've made a decision of whether it will be under Starmer and Labour and the Progressive under their umbrella, or if it's under Reform's umbrella, who gets the blame? Yeah. Then they'll do it. But this is very much an active thing going on here. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. YouTube things. Do the YouTube things. But I like these. These are the positive, because I feel like I really should these are the positive things. Reviewing the actual information. The truth is out. They're desperate to try and cover it up, right? This is Reeves. This is Lammy. This is kind of justice, but whatever, right? This is like statement after statement, and no one's buying it. The usual, yeah. So yeah, we'll leave it here for now. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, please tell me a like, subscribe, dingling the bell, comment down below if you've been reading along, especially if you know any of these kings, because they're bugging me right now. However, until next time, where we do this crazy shenanigans all over again, take care, look after yourself, be well, and thank you for your company. I'll speak to you soon. See you later. Ta-ra. Gotta push the button now. Where's my mouse? Oh no. Ta-ra.